Hello guys. Today we're gonna be doing quite a long video. You guys are used to that though. Okay, so today, I'm on my tank, I'm on my DK, except I have no gear equipped, right? We're gonna be looking at all sorts of tank gear, equipment, stuff like that, mythics, how they can be useful, how to use them, just all about them. Teehee. So I have a list. Let me just go ahead and pull that up. Okay, so I have a list pulled up on my other monitor. I have no gear. I'm gonna equip one set at a time, tell you guys all about it, and then move on to the next one. Now, a couple of them are not on my DK. There's a couple that are on my Crow, and there's one in particular that I cannot test in my house. If you can guess what it is now, think about that. One tank set that I cannot test in my house. I have to be outside. Okay. Let's take a peeky poo. First set on my list that came to mind was tremorscale. Okay, so I have it equipped. What does it do? When you activate a taunt ability on an enemy, you cause a Dune Ripper to burst from the ground beneath them after 1 second, dealing physical damage to all enemies within 4 meters. 4 meters is pretty small. So that's, already 4 meters, not a lot. So probably you're going to be using this single target for penetration, reducing their armor by 716 for 15 seconds. This effect can occur once every 10 seconds and scales off the higher of your physical or spell resistance. Okay, so to get tremor scale to have a higher um pen value, I'm just real quick gonna put on some gear. Just just real quick. So that we can actually get this going here. How much do we have? That doesn't look like a lot. Do I need to put more stuff on? Okay, let's see. How about now? Okay, 1907. Yeah, okay. Sure. Oh, resistance. Sorry, not weapon and spell damage. That's my bad. I just wasn't wearing armor. Okay, so, now that I've got full heavy armor on, my Tremor is now doing 1907 pen. Um, that's about right because, actually, no, hear me out. Let's get major resolve and minor resolve. Now what's it at? 2,620. So that's actually quite a bit. Like 2,500 on a good day. As long as you keep up your major and your minor resolve, as well as wearing like fucking shitload of heavy armor, get yourself to that. What is it? The 32, almost 33k armor cap. Get yourself there, and then you're pretty much going to be hitting the max pen value from Tremor, which is like 2,600, 2,700, something like that. So, okay, use a taunt ability on an enemy. So let's use it on the skeleton, right? You saw the little guy come out of the ground? That actually hit the precursor as well. So like however close this is, however close you think that is, like 4 meters, that is Tremor. Let's do it again. Yep, hit both. That's cool. And it did not hit this one over here. So you can see like already how small this is. This is like you would think you would think that this is like 4 meters. It's not, apparently. That's probably like 5 or 6. Kind of fucked up. So yeah, usually, let's wait for the cooldown. I want to use it on this guy. I want to see if it hits the Ogrim. Did not. Okay, only the big guy here. So very much like a single target, like 2,500 penetration on a thing. That's all you're really realistically gonna get out of it. And keep in mind, if you're using Tremor, you're gonna want to be in heavy armor, because if you're not, if you don't have like major resolve, minor resolve, and then heavy armor, you're gonna be getting a lower pen value. Like 2,600 is like close to max, right? For like what we're gonna be going for armor cap wise. If you're wearing like medium armor or no armor, like how you saw before, like let me just take off my fucking heavy armor. Um, let's say you want to be naked, right? Um, it goes down to 800 pen, which is fucking nothing. So you're not going to be able to like tremor scale medium armor parse and do damage. So if you're making comp based off of that, don't do that. You have to be wearing heavy armor for tremor scale to be good. Okay, so next on the list, we're gonna go ahead and take Tremor off. We've covered that. Everything else is off now. What's next? Pearlescent Ward is next on my list. I like to put Pearlescent Ward on the body. That's that Mitch Robs tech. I used to not wear it on the body, and then he yelled at me, and so now I do. Okay, so PW, what we call it on rosters, grants you and up to 11 other group members, so your entire team is going to get Pearlescent Ward. This bonus persists through death, so if you die, then they still get the buff from your floating pearls. Pearlescent Ward increases weapon and spell damage by up to 180 based on the number of group members that are alive. So 180 max, that's not a lot, but it is something. So we put it in comps. It's just really nice to have, and you don't have to do anything for it. It's free, completely free. You just have to wear the set. A Pearlescent Ward increases damage reduction from non-player enemies out of 66% based on the number of group members that are dead. So here's the thing. If one person dies, you're gonna get like 5% damage reduction, but you're gonna lose out on weapon and spell damage. Every time somebody dies, it's going to take away the value of weapon and spell damage, right? So to get like the most out of PW, you want to have nobody die to get the most like weapon and spell damage. If people are dead, then you're just going to be getting damage reduction, and you're going to be losing out on damage, which can be a bad thing, right? Obviously, if you're going for like a trifecta, people dying, you're losing damage, not a good thing. You want to have people alive. But in a trifecta run, you know, you're going to get the full amount, 180 weapon and spell damage just for wearing the set. Now, one thing I will say, if you have it on one bar, like let's say I don't have it, I don't think I can't show you. No, I can't. Let's say you have it on like your front bar, and then you have it not on your back bar, right? Like let's say you were wearing 3 jewels and then a front bar staff of PW. Then you'd have 5 pieces on the front bar, and then on your back bar, you just wouldn't have the set. It would just completely go away. So definitely like either double bar it or wear it on the body. Preferably wear it on the body. That's how most people do it. Let's take that off. That's easy. Pearlescent Ward's easy. You just put it on. You're not doing anything. Next on the list is Saxhleel's Champion. This one depends. Usually it's going to be on your weapons and jewels. It can be on the body. Depends on what you want to do. I've actually got 2 sets here. I've got a Bloodthirsty set for when I'm parsing. But I'll just put on the normal set for now. Okay, so what does Sax do? Let's go ahead and take a peek. Boo. When you hold on, wrong bar. Okay, when you use an ultimate ability while in combat, you and up to 11 group members within 28 meters of you gain major force for 1 second per 15 ultimate spent, increasing your critical damage done by 20%. So major force, that's huge. I've talked about that before in like 2 or 3 videos. Huge buff. Usually this is something that your raid lead is going to put in the comp on like a necro OT or your DK MT, just, you know, for better force up times, or, you know, I've even seen it been put on a DD for comps that are doing solo tank, solo healer strats. Depends on what you're doing. Okay, when you use an ultimate ability while in combat, so that's the important part, right? If I'm full ulti right now, this is a full sax, you know, I use it, I don't get the sax. It's not there. I don't get it. So that sucks. That's bad. Have to be in combat. So if you're going into a pull and the tank says, you know, pulling in 3, 2, 1, you know, that was too early. Whatever I just did right there, that was too early. I horned before my light attack connected. So definitely, if you are the person wearing sax, wait until you are 100% in combat before you're using it. Now, I understand that that's going to miss out on like a second or two because you're waiting to be in combat. But you definitely don't want to like lose the whole fucking 30 something seconds of major force just because you popped it a little like half a second too early. Definitely like be in combat, then do it. Is a great thing to do. One thing that I like to do, if I'm wearing sax, like let's say, I'm the crow, the sax colo on the OT, I'll press a skill like Ellus. I'll Ellus the boss as the tank is pulling. So they'll say 3, 2, 1, and then after my 1 GCD of my Ellus, I know for a fact that I'm in combat because I pressed Ellus, and then I'm gonna use the ultimate to press sax. So definitely funny trick that you could do to prevent yourself from popping it too early, especially with Colo because or Colo and Horn both doesn't matter, because most ultimates don't need like a target. I know for like let's say Meteor, right? Meteor you have to be like looking at something, but for Horn and um what's the other one? Colo, Horn and Colo, you can just press it without having to be near anything. So it's really easy to just like pop early. And then hold on, let me look real quick. Okay, so we got 32 seconds of force out of that at max LT. 32 seconds of force, pretty good, pretty nice. Let's go and see next on the list. We're going to alkosh. Teehee, alkosh is a DD set, Mr. Temp. What are you talking about? Well, little Jimmy, you would be right. Except it's kind of making a comeback. Ooh, got lost. Okay, so we have alkosh on. How do we use it? When you activate a synergy, you send a shockwave from your position that deals 800 physical damage and an additional physical damage over 10 seconds. Reduces the physical and spell resistance of any enemy hit by the amount of your weapon damage for the duration, up to a max of 6,000. So it scales off your weapon and spell damage, meaning right now with like no gear, let me pop Igneous. What we got? My spell damage is at like 3,000. So let's go with the highest, right? So my weapon damage is 3,400. That's not 6,000. Teehee, let me real quick. Okay, so this is my setup for Oaks. Yes, okay. We build up my Seething Fury stacks. And then we'll pop Ignis. Weapon damage 4,000. I may or not be missing something. Teehee. But also, teehee. You want to get your weapon and spell damage as high as possible on your tank for using alkosh. That way you get to that like 6,000 pen value. But it's also like, if you get to like 5,500 or even just like 5,000, it's really not that bad at all. It's still better than like the alternative being Crimson. So how do you proc it, right? We can't actually proc it on these guys. I have to go up here and then light attack this guy. And then he's gonna give me a shard. So we use synergies. And then you see the little particles on the ground, the little thingies. I gotta wait for another synergy. Here, I'll do it in first person so maybe you can get a better look at it. Give me a synergy, please. Just gotta wait for the shard. Okay, here it is. Here's the synergy. Watch for the roar. See it? Little particles on the ground. Kind of like combat prayer. Kind of looks like your wall, right? It's kind of like that. So the idea is every time you press a synergy, you're gonna be hitting shit. Here, can I hit him again? Watch this. Okay, synergy here, and then we'll pop it. So all four of these guys in this like line right here, this little combat prayer wall line, they all got hit by alkosh, just from me pressing the synergy. So this is a way to keep up your pen in group. It's kind of new recent thing that we've been fucking with is putting alkosh on your tank, just because they can reach like almost the same pen value as a DD, but also they have a better angle sometimes. Like on oaks, they stand in a perfect position to hit both oaks and the mini with alkosh. Like right here, imagine the precursor is oaks and the centurion is the mini. I can just wham. And then imagine these guys are frogs too. Blammo, I hit alkosh on all of them. So, huge. But you have to make sure that your tank is getting enough synergies to actually put alkosh on everything. If they're just sitting there and the only synergy they're getting is like orb, or like maybe not even, because some healers suck at orb positioning. Like if they're just not getting anything, then they can't keep up alkosh very good. The thing about like doing alkosh on a DD is the fact that like, the DD can stand in group, and then all of the synergies are getting placed in group, so it makes it a lot easier. So definitely something to look out for is making sure your tank is good to go on that. Next thing, we're gonna take all this off again. Next on the list is Crimson Oath's Rive. Okay. I have a backbar set of Crimson. I also have a body set, but usually I like to put this on the backbar weapon sigils. Okay, so how do we proc it? While you are in combat, casting an ability, so that's number 1, drinking a potion, number 2, or using a poison that applies a major or minor buff to yourself or an ally, sends out a wave of energy that reduces the armor of nearby enemies within 12 meters by 3,500. That's a set value. That's not scaling off of everything. For 15 seconds. This effect can occur once every 12 seconds and will only occur if an enemy is within range. So you might notice the debuff lasts for 15, but you can do it for every 12, meaning that you can have over like a 100% uptime of this. So like real quick, what did it say? While you drinking a potion, so the potion doesn't have to give you anything either. Let's keep that in mind. Actually, it probably does. I've lied to you. I don't listen to me. So the things have to give you major or minor buffs. So like, I'm not gonna worry about the potion thing because I'm not worried about that. That's not a reliable proc. Reliable proc would be igneous weapons on my back bar, right? So I'm gonna go up to everything and then. Oh, sorry. While in combat, my bad. Okay. So you see the thing. And then my timer is at 7, 6, but the debuff is at 7, 6, 5, 4. Debuff's still ticking, but I can re-up it early, right? So you can keep up Crimson Oath like 100% of the time, as long as you are proccing it off cooldown. Big, huge, very easy set to keep up, especially because the cooldown is, you can re-up it early. Like, look at me. I'm just sitting here like pressing a skill. Easy. And so let's go ahead and test the AoE a little bit. Let's back up here. It still hit everything standing where I'm at. Let's go ahead and back up and see if it still hits the Ogrim from this far. It did. It hit him. Okay, so this far, let's go ahead and move back even further. It hit him from back here too? Really? Holy shit. I didn't know how big Crimson Oath was. Okay, so now we're back here, right? This is pretty far away. It still fucking hit him? What? Okay. Okay, we're moving farther back. Huge. Okay, surely it won't hit him. Ayo! This is gotta be bugged. This is gotta be wild. Hold on. 12 meters. That is such a huge fucking range. Okay, it did. It didn't hit from back here, but let's see, like right here. We're gonna test this. We're limit testing right now. Okay, Mr. Ogrim. It hit from right here. This is like the max distance. This is 12 meters. Look at how far that is. That is so far. It is so easy to just hit everything with Crimson. Holy shit. My god. Absolutely, the debuff is reaching him. So, look at how far this is. Wait, hold on. Okay. I have an idea. I'm just fucking around. So, this guy, 12 meters. Okay. This is gonna be hilarious. Actually, let's get him a little closer. Okay. Him a little closer. Just to give ourselves some funny. Look. Okay. There's one on my left, one on my right. Okay? Let's go ahead and just aggro everything. I'm gonna proc it in 3, 2, 1. Crimson on 1. Crimson on 2. Holy shit. Crimson just kind of hits everything. Okay, listen. I'm figuring this out. I'm like a child on Christmas. I did not know. Oh, that's crazy. The fucking skeleton didn't get hit, but the Ogrim did. Probably because of his hitbox. Tee. Okay. But yeah, look. You can hit the Ogrim, and you can hit the guy. Crimson's huge. Look at how huge that is. That's fucking massive. Huge. Tee. Oh, I'm in combat. What the hell? Okay, let's go ahead and take that off. That was funny. I should win a fucking Oscar for that. That's crazy. Couldn't put him back. I actually thought Crimson was a lot shorter. I didn't know it was 12 meters. Okay, so EC, Elemental Catalyst. This, you're only... Oh, actually, I don't know about this patch, but, last patch, you would only really see Catalyst being used on the main tank in, Vast +2. Okay, sorry, I got lost. I didn't know where my other, Catalyst thing was. Okay. Hear me out. I'm gonna rearrange my skills a little bit. And then we're looking for... Am I crazy? Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, so this is like, maybe a vast setup, right? Not really. So how do we do it? We've talked about this for Crow, but for a DK tank, you might say, oh man, how does DK get all of the elements? Newsflash, they don't, but they do at the same time. So you have to sacrifice stuff, right? So on DK, you have fire built into your class. That would be like, my Flames of Oblivion. I'm hitting everything with my foo. You can see like the flame aura around the targets that are hit by it. So that's great. Easy on tank, right? And same thing with like engulfing flames, right? If I put engulfing on both of these guys, they're gonna be ticking with flame weakness. Easy. No problem. And then the other one would be my frost is clench, right? So I'd have to either light attack or taunt. And that's gonna be your only way of proccing the frost weakness. Now in Vast where we're using this at, that's gonna be not too bad because you're only focusing on like putting EC on Olms. You're not worried about putting EC on anything else. But in AoE, this is definitely a problem, right? Your other thing, your lightning is with a lightning staff wall on your back bar. Now, you're gonna take more damage on this bar because you don't have the ice staff or the sword and board passives. So, like in Vast, this is okay because you're not really taking too much damage. But in other places, this can really pose a problem because, like, let's say boss A fight, you really want to play defensively. So having a lightning staff on the back bar doesn't really help you with that. But yeah, no, that's just like what we do in Vast. Another thing too about having EC on your main tank is if they're using this lightning wall, you're gonna have like 100% exploiter uptime because you're keeping up Ellus, you're keeping up lightning wall yourself to get good uptimes, you know, easy off balance, right? Um, so that's cool. But yeah, you're definitely losing that like survivability. Ice stab passives on the back bar, sword and word passives on the back bar, whatever you're doing. Uh, just to have the lightning there. So definitely be careful with that. But flame easy, and then frost is more single target. There are probably other ways to do it, but this is like the way to do it. Not much else you can get better. Let's see, EC we already talked about. Gotta scroll down on my list here. We are skipping that, archdruid. Okay, cool, archdruid. Okay. How do we use archdruid? I'm gonna just put like a random staff on real quick, just so you guys can see. Okay, so archdruid is when you heavy attack, you summon a bear at the target hit that will put major vuln on it. We deal damage with a heavy attack after 1.2 seconds, deal 14 shock damage to up to 6 enemies within a 7 by 5 meter line on your target. That's not a lot. 7 by 5 meters, that's not too big of an AoE. It's pretty big, but it's not too big, right? It's no combat prayer. Applying major vuln to them for 7 seconds. This effect can occur once every 15 seconds. Okay, so it's up for 7 and down for 8. So like a 40-ish% uptime of major vuln if you're just doing archdruid on cooldown. So let's go ahead and test it on Mr. Ogrim. So I'm gonna do a heavy attack on the Ogrim. And then the bear spawned, he put major vuln on him. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blammo. Okay, cool. One thing to note is even if I do this like perfectly on cooldown, right? It's still gonna take an extra, was it 1.2 seconds? It's gonna take an extra 1.2 seconds to actually like proc the bear. Now also, I don't know if you caught that, but I'm doing, it says when you deal damage with a heavy attack, it doesn't say fully charged heavy attack. So I'm gonna go ahead and like show you the difference here. Like a fully charged heavy attack being this, and then like if I just hold my heavy attack for like not a lot, like this, that's not fully charged, but it is a heavy attack. It's a medium attack. You can medium attack enemies, and it will still proc archdruid. Like here's a light attack, and then here's like a little bit of a charged heavy. I held it for like not even a second, right? This is like fully charged heavy attack, but like just for like a little bit, it'll still proc archdruid. So keep that in mind as you're trying to proc this set. One thing to note is like let's test out the AoE, right? So we gotta wait for the cooldown to be done. We're gonna see if we can hit that guy in the back, probably. Okay, here's our heavy attack. Here's the roar. It actually did not hit him. Did it? Oh, did it not hit at all? Huh. Hold on. That was weird. That was an anomaly. Let's not worry about that. Let's actually try it from this direction. Okay, so that worked. Didn't hit anything else. I wonder why. What's the problem here? It hit the first guy. Maybe I did it wrong. Maybe I like have to be in combat with all these guys. Okay, so I'm putting myself in combat. Just want to try this out. We're doing some limit testing, right? So you can see like exactly how it works. I probably just have them positioned like really, really funky a bit. Okay, so here's my archdruid. It only hit the one guy. What the hell? Well, that fucking sucks. It only hit the one guy. It's fucked up. Okay, let's try it from this guy. Archdruid here. It hit the skeleton in front, but it didn't go as far as the precursor. So I mean, I guess I don't know. You can get an idea of like how small it is, right? Archdruid's not very big. Like, you know, imagine if this was a trash pack and you're trying to hit all these ads, right? I'm, I mean, like, what the fuck? it's it's only hitting me one at a time. I'm aiming it at everything. That's it's so bad. That's so bad. I don't know. I just really goofy. Definitely would be like a thing to use in, you know, boss fights, single target boss fights. I wouldn't don't expect Archdruid to keep up AoE vuln, because this is kind of pathetic. We've just seen a pathetic performance from Archdruid. I don't think it works on the precursor, actually. You know what? This I could just be fake newsing you. I don't think it actually works on the precursor. You know what? Hear me out. I don't want to lie to you. I don't want to give you fake information. So we're gonna move these guys. These two, I definitely know have been hit with it. And I know that this guy has as well. The precursor has not. So far, according to our tests, you know, he's the ugly duckling. Like, let's just proc it on him. Uh, okay. Hold on. Uh, I'm, guys, I'm flabbergasted. Now he gets major vuln? What happened? Hold on. It didn't work when I was on the stairs. The bear was on the stairs. And the bear is at a higher elevation level than the precursor. Don't tell me that's a thing. Are you fucking for real? The bear is on the stairs. And he's a higher elevation level than the precursor. So I don't think he's actually roaring at the precursor. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. Set bad, throw it away. But it works perfectly fine from here. Okay. So if you're anywhere near stairs, don't be, because it won't work. Okay, so we figured that out. Okay. So apparently I wasn't fake newsing you, and we just limit tested a little bit. Okay, so here we are again at stairs. Let me just try it out. I had hit him that time. But look, it only hit the first three, didn't go as far as the next one. So bit rough. Let's try it this way around. See if that makes any difference. Yeah. Definitely hit the 1, 2, 3. Did not actually, it didn't hit him. Why not? Interesting. Did the lamp gatekeep it? Swear to God. The Talvani candle was in the way, so it was gatekeeping the roar. Let's go ahead and try that again. just to make sure. I just want to I just want you guys to know that I am not crazy. Wow, it didn't work. Okay, so we gotta wait for another cooldown because I'm intrigued here. Let me try it from a different angle. How about this angle? It worked that time, but it doesn't work back here. Okay, so okay, if you're gonna take anything from this, it's that Archdruid fucking sucks and it's weird. You know, definitely play around with it. One other thing that's gonna absolutely infuriate you in content, I already know it. If anything moves and you try to Archdruid it, then you know, it's gonna miss, most likely. If anything moves, like bad, terrible. It awful set. It can be useful, but awful set. Okay, next one. Okay, cool. My favorite one on the list, I promise. It's Ring of the Wild Hunt. I've just recently started using this in trash where I can, and look how fast this shit makes me. Look at me. Look at me. I'm fucking speeding, right? applications where you would use Wild Hunt at would be, you know, in trash, definitely. You would use it to get places faster. If you're early pulling, like next trash packs, like you're leaving group early to go pull a pack, you would Wild Hunt. It's really, really, really useful. Especially because, like, think about it, right? If you're early pulling another pack, you're not gonna be using like archdruid or encratis or spaulder because like nobody else is there with you. You're alone. So why not just like have Wild Hunt in your trash setup for that to get you to a place faster, getting you to like stack things quicker for the DDs to do more damage, right? Definitely something to look at. Like if you want to get your trash packs to go faster, I think it's an interesting thing to keep in mind is using Wild Hunt. Look at how fast I am. Now let's do the same thing without it. Yeah, baby. I'm so much slower. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Now, one thing I will say, it's going to give you a lot of out of combat speed, but while you're in combat, like here, let me go ahead and punch a dummy real quick. Actually, hear me out. Here's something. When you're in heavy armor, you're going to be slow as fuck. Okay? So this is where Wild Hunt really comes in handy, right? I'm slow right now. While I'm in combat, I am slow. I am slow as shit. I feel so slow. But then, you know, let's say I put Ring of the Wild Hunt on. And then I get in combat. I'm fast as fuck. You probably can't really tell a difference, but here's why. I'll tell you. So increases your movement speed by 15% while in combat. So it's not going to give you that big 45% like out of combat boost, but 15% while in combat is still like really, really big. It can help you get to movement speed cap a lot better, especially if you pair that up with a skill such as Race Against Time or Rapids, either one. You know, you're gonna see like here, even now, like look at how fast I am. I'm speeding. I'm speeding, dude. I'm going insane. This is in heavy armor as well. Now let me attack this guy, right? I'm fast as fuck. You can't catch me. This is in combat as well. This is in combat. Like I just hit that guy. I'm still in combat. Dude, I'm rotting. I'm speed rotting right now. Look, I'm gonna punch the shit out of these guys and then just like speed rod. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is with Wild Hunt on. Fantastic. Love that. That's huge. You're trying to stack an ad pull or pre-stack it and get it done quick. That's huge. Absolutely huge. Okay, next on my list is let's see, Nazaray. Okay, so this one's funny. Okay, so Nazaray alone doesn't do shit, right? Like if I were to use it now, right? Like use an ultimate. It did stuff. Like you can see the flies on the target, but they're not doing anything. It didn't do much. So okay, when you use an ultimate ability, the closest 6 enemies within 12 meters, which is a long range. Remember, 12 meters is like Crimson Oath, and you saw how close Crimson Oath was. That's pretty long, right? So just be anywhere near it. Uh, it'll have all major debuffs and minor debuffs applied to them, extended by 1 second per 20 ultimate spent. This effect can occur once every 30 seconds per target. So 30 seconds is actually a long ass cooldown. Definitely like really, really, really long. So use that wisely. Don't do weird shit with your Nazaray procs. Okay, so major debuffs and minor debuffs. That would be, you know, a lot of things, but what we're mainly concerned about when we use Nazaray is major vuln. So that would be archdruid. This is gonna be really weird. I don't think I can proc this. Teehee, we'll cut to something later. I will show you something later. Where I'll extend something. So Teehee. I baited you. My bad. Okay, next one on the list is Encratis' Behemoth. Okay, so what does it do? Dealing flame damage to an enemy grants you Behemoth's aura for 12 seconds that reaches up to 12 meters. Remember, 12 meters is pretty fucking long. We learned that from Crimson Oath. This will actually give you a better idea of how big Crimson Oath is, actually, since it's 12 meters. So the aura for 12 seconds. You and up to 11 group members in the aura, so all of you, all 12 members in the group, reduce flame damage taken by 5%. And enemies in the aura increase their flame damage taken by 5%. So the enemies have to be in the AoE, the 12 meter AoE. And then this effect can occur once every 15 seconds. So it'll be up for 12 and down for 3 if you're activating it on cooldown. So dealing flame damage, that's the proc. Cool. We do flame damage with our engulfing flames. So it's just, so here's the aura. You can see the big fucking ring around me. So look, right now I'm getting the flame buff and they're not getting the debuff. They have to be in it to have the encratis flame weakness thing. If they're not in it, they're not going to take extra damage. If they are in it, they will take extra damage. Let's keep my engulfing up. So look at how big the AoE is, though. This is the same AoE as Crimson, as we found out before. So Crimson Oath is like huge. This shit can reach fucking far, but yeah, encratis, one thing to note is so it's only 5% increased flame damage. So it's not even like a 5% like just damage increase. It's limited to only flame damage. And it's also like, since it's not 100% uptime, it's not 5%. It's going to be a little bit less than that. So then you're dealing with like, okay, when do I use it, right? If you're going to be stacking a bunch of Arcanists and you're only going to have like 1 DK and 1 Crow, Encratis is not the play. You should not have it on your roster if you're only going to have like the EC Crow and the Zen DK. If that's all you got, worthless. I really realistically just don't think it's worth it. Maybe in some groups, but no. Now, if you've got like 2 parse DKs or even more, like let's say you just stack your whole team full of DKs like we used to a couple patches ago, then it would be great, right? Because like DKs, just real quick, I'm on one, I can see standard, whip, engulfing flames, foo, deep breath if you're doing that like for trash, eruption, maybe flame damage, I think. Yeah. So, and then like your wall of elements is another one too. So talons as well. They're going to be doing so much flame damage, basically all of their damage. So then it's worth it, right? Huge. I don't even think Crow anymore, right? Because new Blastbones got reworked. So like blighted Blastbones is disease. So yeah, I don't even think it's worth it because it's only good for DKs in group. Like everybody else, the only flame damage you're doing is like your wall of elements. That's it. If you're only buffing that by like less than 5%, that's just totally not worth it. I promise. It's not good. But let's say you do have a bunch of DKs, maybe put it on. Probably good. And it's really easy to keep up as well. Like if you're a DK tank, like all you got to do is have engulfing flames or have foo, or even like, hear me out. Hold on, let me get out of combat real quick. So burning embers, even let's put that on. So burning embers is a single target dot, right? So we'll proc it on an enemy and it's still gonna proc encratis. You only have to keep the flame damage up, like you only have to deal flame damage once every 15 seconds. Like it doesn't even have to be a dot, but like use dots to make it easier on yourself, right? If you're just like trying to do flame damage like with whip, you know what, let's do that for fun. We're gonna put fucking whip on. The hard thing about using like a single target spammable to keep this shit up is like, let's say you're doing your thing, you're tanking, and you have to watch that cooldown to keep up the like the whip, right? Let's say, I'm doing my thing, oh no, and then I whip. That can be a lot more stressful than just like having a dot on the target and just like minding your fucking business, right? So I put a dot on this guy. I'm chilling. I don't have to do anything. The cooldown still goes. I'm still chilling. I'm not doing anything. Still, just doing damage. I'm not doing much. Still chilling. Hey, look, another proc. I still didn't do anything. See what I mean? It's so much more easier, and it's gonna be on cooldown. If you're doing it this way, it's gonna be great. Look at that, huge. So if you're ever gonna use encratis, burning embers, use a dot. Don't try to just proc it like with whip or some shit. Next on the list is Baron Zaudrus. Oh, I love Baron Zaudrus. That's huge. Okay, fantastic set. Love this set. Let me real quick. We'll put on the magma shell. We'll put on the where is it? Vampire Exy Drain. And then I have ulti pots. Yes, I do. Okay, let me put like an actual fucking setup on. Just PW. We'll go PW sax. That's a common enough setup, right? Everybody uses that. Okay, so PW sax. I've just put something on for the hell of it. And then I've got Ellus on my back bar, right? So we got the setup. Now let's see what it does before we get into that. Okay, so applying a status effect to an enemy grants you a stack of Zaudrus' Ambition for 10 seconds, up to 3 stacks max. When you gain 3 stacks, the stacks are removed and you gain 4 ultimate. On gaining ultimate, you cannot gain additional stacks of Zaudrus' Ambition for 1 second. Okay, so let's think about that. Cause I'm not very smart, so I have to go slow with this stuff. You gain a stack for 10 seconds. Cool. Up to 3 stacks max. Cool. Applying a status effect. So let's say you just apply a bunch of status effects. Like with Ellus, that's why we have that on our bar, right? You're gonna be applying burning, chilled, and concussion, right? Neat, fucking huge, right? So that would be like 3 stacks. We're gonna get like 1 ulti a second if we're just keeping up Ellus, which you should very easily. When you gain 3 stacks, stacks are removed, and you gain 4 ulti. Oh wait, no, we get 4 ulti a second. My bad. 4 ulti a second. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so let me just like put Ellus on this guy, and then let me put it on this guy, and let me put it on this guy, and let me put it on this guy. Now, hear me out. We've put Ellus on a bunch of things. Let me magma shell, and then I'm gonna vamp drain. Look at how fast my ultimate's going up. That's going up so much. Now imagine you get like a pillager's prophet like halfway in between there, right? You're gonna go fucking crazy. You're gonna get so much ulti. So this is primarily used in places like Reef Guardian, right? Where what we're doing is we're just magma shell spamming as the DKMT. We're magma shell spamming, we're getting heroism from somewhere, maybe pots, maybe sword and board, and then we're exit drain spamming to get more magmas. You just pop that shit on cooldown. Look at how fast I'm ulting. Huge. And I'm just sitting here fucking spamming exit drain. Put Ellus as many things as possible to keep the uptime good as possible. Now keep in mind, it does have a 1 second cooldown. So like if you put Ellus on fucking, one thing, you're probably already going to be reaching like the max Baron Zaudrus ulti gen that you're going to get. So putting it on more targets isn't going to help you because there is a 1 second cooldown, but it is going to like guarantee that you are reaching 4 ulti every 1 second. Definitely. But yeah, no, definitely. This is let's say you just weren't using it for magma shells. Let's say instead you were using it to proc horn. Then we can do that as well, right? You know, let's start at 0 ultimate and count how fast this takes us, right? So we're gonna horn. It's gonna do nothing. Okay, so I'm gonna have heroism already popped, and then I'm gonna Ellus everything. Count how long it takes me to get from 0 to 500 to get like a full sax, right? So do 1, 2, 3, 4. My combat metric says it's been like 10 seconds. 12, 13, 14, 15. I will say this gets easier if you got like pillagers in between. Because pillagers from like a healer is going to give you 100 ulti. Okay, however fast that was, 46 seconds? 46 seconds to take me from 0 to 500. That's pretty quick, actually. That's pretty fucking quick. And that was no pillagers as well. So, you know, let's say that you do get pillagers. Like, you're going fucking crazy with the Baron Zaudrus. Let's go ahead and look at that. Can we get a graph of my ultimate? Is that a thing? Can we do that? Resources? Ultimate? Ooh, look at that. Okay. Can we get rid of this? Okay, so let me just make it bigger so you can see it. Okay, this is a graph of my ulti gen with Baron Zaudrus, right? It just kind of went up really, really fast. And this was how long was this? 46 seconds was how long that pull took. Hear me out. Let's not do the vamp drain. Or actually, no, I don't want this to take forever. We'll put vamp drain back on, and we'll have no Baron Zaudrus. Let's just instead, let's go with fucking Nazaray for fun. That's a PW Sax Naz. That's a common setup. Let's just sit here. Oh, sorry. My bad. I fucked it up. Okay, we're going from 0 to 100, right? So let's wait for Guy to get back up. Okay, let's see how long it takes me to get all the way back up. Four LT a second would help a lot right now, I'll tell you what. We're halfway there, champs. She's getting there. Okay, we're there. So that was like 51. Now, I will say, I cheated just a little bit. I did. I realistically did, and I'll tell you why. The reason why I cheated is because I started this fight at 23 ultimate. So that was an extra, like, probably like a couple seconds of like, hear me out. Let's do this again. Retest. Oh, what the fuck? What did I hit him for? Oh, Nazaray. My bad. P. I gotta wait for that to go away, guys. I'm so sorry. Okay, so now we are truly going from 0 to 100. Just gonna try it out now. I definitely cheated because I started with 23, so we're gonna get a better idea now. And you have to remember, even as a tank, you have to remember to light attack in between stuff, just so that you are like building ult 100%. Because there's like a cooldown in game. I don't know, or maybe not cooldown might not be the right word. It's like a buff or something where if you block stuff, block damage, or you light attack and like be in combat, do damage, it will proc your ulti gen. So it's pretty cool. So if you don't light attack ever, then you're not going to be genning as much ulti. That was 500. So about 51. Yeah, okay. It is close enough. 51 ult compared to the 46 seconds that we had prior. You know, seconds matter. It's a, really helpful thing to have that Baron Zaudrus, especially if it's so easy to keep up, right? And all you're worried about is genning ult. Then keeping up Ellus on like one or two things, that's nothing. That's so easy, and it's just gonna make you get your magmas quicker for like Reef Guardian. Okay, so we talked about that one. Next on the list is bloodspawn. I can't test this, but I'll put it on. So when you take damage, you have a 6% chance to generate 13 ultimate and increase your physical and spell resistance by 3700 for 5 seconds. This effect can occur once every 5 seconds. You're not worried about the physical and spell resistance. You don't care about that. You should already be at resistance cap anyway without it. The thing we're worried about is when you take damage, you have 6% chance to generate 13 ultimate. So pretty much just sit there, take damage, you'll gen some ulti. It might not be a lot of ulti, but ulti is ulti. The much better proc would be Baron Zaudrus. I would say never use Bloodspawn if you can use Baron Zaudrus. Like, Bloodspawn's just for, not great. It's not very good, but I have to include it anyway, right? Like, hear me out. I'll let you in on a little secret. I used Bloodspawn for my swashbuckler. I DK emptied it. I kind of wish I had Baron's Zaudrus looking back on it, because Baron's just better in all ways. It's guaranteed proc. I don't have to do much. Just keep up Ellus. That's what I'm already doing anyway. Bloodspawn was not very good, so don't use that. Teehee. Next on the list will be we're looking at Elfbane next. Okay, so let's put on Baron Zaudrus just to mix with that as well. Okay, so I'm in Baron, Sax, Elfbane. This is like a common Reef setup. Is just, something like this. Maybe put like a Vigor on the back bar. Maybe let's say like a Flare. Something like this would be like a common Reef setup. So let's imagine, right, that we're using magma shells. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so what does Elfbane do? While in combat, increases the duration of your flame damage over time abilities by 5 seconds. This effect does not work with beam or channeled effects. So what a tank would use Elfbane for would be something like Magma Shell, right? So since Magma Shell does flame damage, like let's look at it, dealing 807 flame damage to nearby enemies, that counts for Elfbane. Right? So we can extend the duration of our Magma Shell buff. So like Reef tanking, right? Let's say I'm sitting here, right? I've got my ulti popped. I got my Baron Zaudrus procced on everything. I'm genning like a shitload of ulti. Here we go. My Magma Shell lasted for like 18 seconds there. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And I'm already back to a magma. And then 17, 16, right? I'm already back to, pretty much having magma. Obviously, there are other skills that you have to press, so you're not just XC draining the whole time. Maybe you're roll dodging a couple of times, so keep that in mind. But, you know, my magma shell just ran out, and I'm almost there to a new one. I'm so close. Bam, new one. Now, another thing to keep in mind with this is healer and pillagers, remember? Like, if your healer pops pillagers close to you, you're going to get that 100 ulti extra. So that's fucking useful. 2, 1, 0. My magma shell ran out. Oh my. I need more. Okay. That wasn't very long in between magma shells, right? Let's go ahead and we'll shut them down. And then we'll look at my combat metrics. Okay, we're looking at, look, just from that little experiment for a minute and 11 seconds, my magma shell buff up time was around 80%. So throw in pillagers getting you ultimate, you're gonna be like over 80% magma shell for like a fucking Reef Guardian fight. If you're doing it as much as we were doing it right there. Obviously, it'll probably be a little lower, considering not every single cast is gonna be exhilarating drain. And you're gonna be like doing a couple roll dodges and things like that, and blocking things. So definitely, like the best way to use this, right, is, let's say, like, here's a big reef guy. He's attacking me. You know, I'm gonna magma shell, and then as soon as you magma shell, right, you should already have Ellus on before you pop it. But like, you know, let's just say that you magma shelled. Your only GCD that you should be casting is fucking XC Drain. You absolutely need to get another magma as soon as possible, right? So I'm gonna have my Baron Zaudrus already up. I'm gonna have my Igneous, everything's already up. I'm gonna magma, and as soon as I do that, I'm doing nothing but XC draining. You don't have to block the Reef Guardians. They can just like hit you, and unblocked your magma shell will save you. So literally just sit here, light attack, XC drain, light attack, XC drain. Bam. Cool. Okay, so I think we talked about that enough. I don't really think you use Elfbane anywhere else other than Reef Guardian. So, T, nice set, huge, helps out a lot. Next on our list is going to be cryptcanon. I can't really use that right now, but I will put it on just to show you. Okay, so cryptcanon's vestments. This is a new thing that came out with Necrom. It's a mythic. You can no longer cast ultimate abilities. Cool. Okay, let me go ahead and put it on, so you can see my ultimate. Crypt transfer. Like I had magma shell there. It's not there anymore. As soon as you put on cryptcanon, it replaces it with crypt transfer. So when you use this, transfer your total ultimate resource to your living non-companion group members, divided equally among them. So the crypt transfer has a radius of 28 meters, so it's pretty big. Basically, if you're anywhere near your teammates, then it's going to be going to them. But 28 meters is still, you know, something to watch out for. You can only cast crypt transfer once every 5 seconds. I wouldn't worry about that. You're not going to do that. So yeah, 500 ulti divided by you're splitting it among 11 people. So 500 divided by 11 is about 45. About 45 ulti. So, you know, teehee. In conjunction with pillagers, which is 100 ulti going to the DDs, and the 45 ulti that you're going to be giving with a full 500 ult cryptcanon, you're going to be seeing like Languid Eye costs 175. If you give your Arcanist DDs 100 ult along with 45, they only have to get 30 ultimate to like double Languid. That's nothing. 30 ultimate is nothing, especially if they're using ulti pots. Like, real quick, let me just take off cryptcanon real quick, and then let me just magma shell. Okay, let's see how long it takes me with a minor heroism. How long does it take to generate 30 ultimate on a tank of all things? 32, and it took 8 seconds, 9 seconds. That's nothing. That is such nothing. Small amount of time. If you're trying to burst the fuck out of a boss, right? Cryptcanon, huge. Ultimate is one of the most like powerful resources in the game. Just because like since ultimates do so much damage, and if everybody's ulting, like that's a huge damage boost, like for free. The more ultimate that they have, the quicker they can pump those out. Like way more damage in your group. So if you can find a way to fit Cryptcanon in without sacrificing too much, then I would try to do that. It's huge. It's a massive set. Um, one other perk of Cryptcanon: gain minor heroism while you are in combat. So you don't actually have to use ulti pots. You still get minor heroism, and you can use tri-stat pots or whatever the fuck you want, whatever you're using. So that's huge. You can fucking cheapskate and not buy ulti pots for the rest of your life as long as you're in Cryptcanon. Next thing on our list, we're gonna take that off. We're gonna be looking at Yolna. This set has largely been phased out of organized content because you can get minor courage from Xena's empowering disc on an Arcanist. So literally just having an Arcanist put on Xena's means you don't need Yolna anymore. So you don't really see this too often. But let's say that your raid lead is old-fashioned, and you do see it. When you taunt an enemy, you give yourself and 11 group members minor courage for 15 seconds, increasing your weapon and spell damage by 215. This effect can occur once every 8 seconds. So you'll see that you get the buff for 15, and it can occur every 8 seconds. So this is like Crimson, where you can proc it early and keep 100% uptime. Especially since it's taunting, right? You can taunt and keep this up like 100% of the time. You should already be doing that as a tank. So taunt, and I get major courage. Or no, sorry, minor courage. Oh, you get minor courage. Teehee. And I popped it again early. What was the timer? 8 seconds? And it was up for 15? So if you have a timer that starts at 15, you have to wait until 7 seconds to pop it. Should I time that? Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, is there a range on that? Okay, it doesn't tell you a range, but be careful with that. Probably 28 meters, knowing how ZOS does their sets. Okay, I've got one more thing on my list for DK, and then we're gonna do the field trip, right? So next thing on the list is Master's Perfected Ice Staff. It doesn't matter if it's perfected or not. Probably should be, but Master's Ice. So what does it do? Reduces the cost of destructive touch by 10%. That would be our clench, our taunt skill up here. Reduces the cost of that by 10%, which is pretty good, especially since you're going to be casting it a lot. You know, we like that. We like reduced cost. Increases your sustain and increases your weapon and spell damage by 600 for 4 seconds after activating it. So 600 is a fucking lot. That's big. Teehee. So what do we do with that? Okay, so 600 weapon and spell damage. Let's go ahead and take a peeky poo here. Right here. This. Your vigor is going to be based off of your weapon and spell damage. So let's say our vigor heals for. Hold on, let me put it up here. Put the vigor on the front bar. Okay, so on the bar where we actually, you know what? I've lied to you. Okay, let me just put gear on. We're making this more difficult than it needs to be. Okay, so I'm in Baron Zaudrus PW sax, just for fun. And now let's take a peek. Okay, vigor, 12,000 over 5 seconds. Cool. But what happens when we taunt and proc the buff? It goes up to 14,000. So you get more heals. That's what we use it for. Also, if you're using alkosh, you can proc Frost Clench, get 600 weapon and spell damage, and then that might help you get up to 6,000 weapon and spell damage for max alkosh debuff. But yeah, no, basically just like your coag and your vigor, stuff like that, stuff that you're gonna be healing with, you know, makes that stronger. That way you can just sit here and just like heal more. Really good for fights like boss A hard mode, where you're just sitting there healing yourself the whole time. Really good for just any fight where you're like casting vigor and trying to keep yourself alive because you're scared. Then Master's Ice is really good. Oh my god, Bonnie wants to be my friend. I love him. He's great. Okay, that is all for the DK. That's all I got on my DK. So, about 2 seconds, we're gonna be moving over to probably my crow, I bet. Or maybe the field trip first, I don't know. So yeah. Okay, guys, we're on a field trip. I literally just walked out of my house, took a walk, and got here. I found some beetles. Okay, not the good beetles, not the yellow submarine ones, but what are the assassin beetles, ambush beetles. Okay, so turning tide. This is our next set. We took a field trip just for it. When you block, you gain flowing water for 10 seconds, causing your next bash attack to deal 4,700 magic damage to up to 6 enemies in a 5 by 10 meter line, and apply major vulnerability for 10 seconds. The magic damage we're not worried about. We're worried about the major vulnerability. This effect can occur once every 15 seconds and scales off your max health. Cause your next bash attack to deal 47. Oh, no, we're not worried about that. Apply major vuln for 10 seconds, and the effect is every 15. So it's up for 10, down for 5. This guy. Fuck this guy, man. Okay, hear me out. It said when we block, right? So that surely that should mean, I blocked. Where's my flowing water, right? Well, it's not there. So they lied to you. It's not when you block. It's when you block damage. When you block an attack, then you gain flowing water. So let's go ahead and just. I'm gonna go in here and just block. Oh yeah, I got flowing water now. So what next? What next? Causing your next bash attack to do the thing. Oh, so let me. I waved them. I put the wave pool on them, right? Now they got major vuln for 3, 2. You can tell they have major vuln from the purple. And now it's gone away. And now I'm gonna block again. I'm gonna wave them. Easy. Not that bad of a set to use. So now the cooldown, they don't have it anymore. I can't do anything. I do it again. Easy. The thing about Turning Tide is you have to have blockable damage, and you want to have it like when you need it. So like, imagine they just didn't attack me for like 5 seconds, and oh, now I can, right? You'd get a little bit of a downtime on your uptime, right? So definitely only use it in places where you can, and then make sure that you're blocking. So let's say I'm not blocking, you're not gonna get Turning Tide procs. You have to absolutely block. And then look at that. I hit one, but I didn't hit the other. Remember what it said? It's a 5 by 10 meter line. I don't know how to test that without going into my house, but I can't. So, teehee. Whatever that wave looked like, whatever that was, that's it. That's how it is. Let's finish this guy up. Okay, next on the list, we're looking at Nazaray. I baited you guys earlier. I couldn't use it. So now we're gonna use it here, right? let's go ahead and just kill that guy. Okay, next on the list, let's go find a guy. Another beetle, maybe. Ayo, please. I need an enemy. Okay, here we go. Wamasu, cool. I'm gonna go up to it. I'm gonna put Major Vuln on it, and then I'm gonna show you the Nazaray. So when you use an ultimate ability, so I'm gonna use Magma for fun because that's what I've got on. It'll extend the major vulnerability. That's what we care about. So hit him. I'm gonna block. I got my turning tide proc, and then the timer for major vuln is at 6, 5, 4. Let me use my thing 3, and now it went from 3 to 28 seconds. So it just extends it and makes it last longer. So now I can wait, right? Like a while. It's at 13, 12, 11, 10. I can get a turning tide proc lined up. So like here, let me block an attack real quick. And then I get an extra 10 seconds, right? Bam. Easy, 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 easy. So that was a huge uptime of Major Vuln right there. I'm gonna just here watch this. Welcome to the next part of the video, boys and girls. I'm on my crow now with my other couple of sets of gear. The only things that I was missing were War Machine, Spaulder of Ruin, and Powerful Assault. Those were the 3 things that were missing. So we'll go for Powerful Assault first. Let's go ahead and take a peek. When you cast an Assault ability while in combat, you and up to 5 group members, so 6 people, like per cast, like including yourself. So it'd be like cast it twice and you'd hit the whole group. So that within 12 meters. Remember, 12 meters is this. So whatever range that is, that's PA. Or we call it PA, Powerful Assault. Okay, so gain 296 weapon spell damage for 15 seconds. So pretty much, if we're gonna make it like as simple as possible, like, you know, vigor twice, and you've kept up PA on the whole group. It's not entirely how it works. It is really weird how it works, like the targeting on it. But it's basically like people near you, like the way that they're standing, you know, basically just like run around the group until everybody has PA, and then you're good to go. That's how I do it. That's how I keep my uptimes. It's a really, really, really fucked up set. But also you can't pre-buff with it. Like right now, I'm not getting PA. I have to be in combat, and then I get PA, right? But only when you are in combat do you ever get PA, right? So keep that in mind. Can't pre-buff with it. And as soon as the fight starts, you know, you're gonna be spamming your PA button. So what would our PA button be? Let's take a peek. It has to be an assault skill. Anything in assault, so horn would count. Vigor, rapids. Hold on. Okay, I don't know why that happened. So horn, vigor, rapids, caltrops. If you're doing damage as a tank, this would be a good alternative to vigor. Like let's say you don't need the heal from vigor, just put on caltrops instead, right? And do damage with that. The mag detonation proxy det, you would use this if you like imagine you don't want to use all of your stamina. Like imagine you have to sit there and block a bunch, right? And you don't want to like spam vigor and get your stamina really low. So instead you could use proxy det to proc PA while using magicka to do it, right? So you technically don't need like vigor or caltrops. You know, as long as you can sustain it either way, whatever makes it easier. Either one doesn't matter. So yeah, you just pretty much usually like tanks already use vigor anyway, so we're gonna be using vigor. But it definitely depends on whether you want to use the stam costing ability. Rapids I definitely wouldn't do since it costs so much. Like you're not gonna want to cast rapids that much keeping up PA. You're definitely gonna want to get a cheaper skill, right? So your options would be like vigor for like standard tank play, caltrops for if you're trying to do damage, and then proxy det if you are like not trying to spend too much stam and you want to spend more mag on it. But you have a big stam pool, so honestly, I realistically would just go with vigor like the whole time, just because you're already going to be using it on tank. You know, tee, that's all it is. Now I can't really show you in the video, but the targeting, I promise, is so weird. So definitely get like a tracker for that. One I can recommend would be buff the group. This is what I use for my tracking. It's not gonna show up. Let me unlock it. Can I unlock it? Okay, it's not gonna let me move it. Teehee. But it's like a little box frame that shows everybody in your group, and then when you give them PA, it'll light their name up green, and then it'll eventually fade to red when the buff is about to drop. And it'll give you a timer for each individual person. It's really, really, really great. I love it. Buff the group. Great add-on. Obviously, there are other add-ons that you can use, but that's the one I like. Next on our list is Spaulder. Spaulder of Ruin. Okay, so what is it? Activating Crouch activates and deactivates a 12-meter Aura of Pride. So let's see it. We have Crouched. Sorry, that's Flare. I threw a Flare. The red, like, piece of shit thing, like, you know, somebody pooped on the floor and forgot to clean it up, like that. That is Spaulder, not the blue. Okay, cool. Yeah, you can barely see it. You barely know it's out. You have a red, like, haze around your character whenever you have it active. So here it is. I'm Spalderified. Up to 6 group members in the aura gain 260 weapon and spell damage. So you're only going to be hitting yourself. No, you're going to be hitting 6 other people and not yourself. Reduces your health, magic, and stamina recovery by 70 for every target. So up to a max of 6. So whatever 70 times 6 is, I don't know what that is. 420. I think it's 420. It's going to take 420 away from all 3 of your recoveries. So your sustain is going to take a real fucking piece of shit dump, like huge. So if you put this on a DD, you know, fuck their sustain, that shit's gone. You put this on a tank, it's not too bad. It's gonna really, really fuck over your recoveries though. Like you're gonna have just like an awful time with it. But it'd be like that. Teehee. It's pretty good if you can sustain it. It's really good putting it on the tank because you don't need the Spaulder buff as a tank. You're not worried about the damage. You'll give it to other people. But yeah, no, it's same thing as encratis, as you can see, the AoE. But keep in mind, if you're parsing and you're doing your thing and you accidentally press whatever your crouch button is, it just kind of goes away and you have to reproc it. But the cool thing is, if you take it away, then you no longer have your mag health and stam recovery taken away. Like if you, let's say you needed to just like real quick, you know, get your sustain back, you can always just like uncrouch for a second and then like recrouch just for like a fucking second of relief to get your stuff back. But usually what I'll do is I'll just go into a trial and then like as soon as I'm in, I'll crouch and I'll leave it on the whole time because I'm not too worried about it. Okay, the very last thing that I want to talk about is War Machine. We'll be using War Machine on a tank, mostly because we can use it on both weapons and jewels and on the body sometimes. With Master Architect, it's the same thing, but we're not going to be in light armor, like usually ever. So we're going to only talk about War Machine. So I talked about this in the Optimizing Major Slayer video. When you use an ultimate ability while in combat, you and the closest 5 group members within 28 meters gain Major Slayer. So you and 5 others, meaning half the group. So you need 2 of these in a group comp to get full Major Slayer for the group. And then, so you get that 1 second per 10 ultimate spent. That would be 50. So you're gonna spend 500 and get 10 ultimate, so it's 50 seconds of Major Slayer. Yeah, so you're gonna give half the group 50 seconds of Major Slayer for 500 LT. So I'm gonna be in combat. I'm gonna pop this. I get 50 seconds of Major Slayer. That is. One thing to note is that it only works while you are in combat. So if I just used it right now, I'm still on my previous timer of 30 seconds. One thing also to note, please. Okay. Okay, so if I'm in combat and I'm at 16, 15, 14, there's no cooldown on War Machine. So if I'm at 11, 10, I pop it, I'm back to 50. Back to 50 again. Cool. So one thing to keep in mind with War Machine is when you're using this, it's you and the closest 5 group members. So like if you were to just if you're trying to optimize this with 2 Major Slayer sets, you go into combat, right? You should have your groups split into 1 and 2. You should, because if you don't, if you just have the entire group spread out, then you're going to go in, you're going to use your ultimate, and it's going to go to random people. And the buff doesn't have a cooldown, right? So if your War Machine people are just using the set all willy-nilly, they're just using their ultimates wherever they want, then what ends up happening is people can get 2 of the same, like, you know what I mean? Like, they'll get 2 different Major Slayers, but they're only 1 person. So then they'll steal it, they'll steal procs from other people in the group. So the way to avoid that is just by having like a left and a right Slayer stack, like very clearly defined, like left, right. That way, when you go in to use your ultimate, you're gonna pop it here, and then the other guy will pop theirs there. That way, the Slayer is very even, split up, and everybody gets it. That's all. I think that's all for the video. I don't think we have to talk about anything else. Probably missed something. It's okay. I know I missed Nunatak. We're gonna blame that on it's a healer set. Teehee. Not my fault. Okay, thank you guys for watching.